Hey everybody, as you can see, I'm out on the property today and I had an idea for a video that I think would be kind of interesting. So let's go check something out here. As you can see, I've got this big old craggy maple tree that you can tell was basically functioning as a field tree right here in the middle of the property. I know that this land was cut, I heard, in the 60s, but this old tree was left standing and it's been here for a long time, and I've even used quite a bit of it for firewood, different limbs and stuff that I found laying around. There's even some in this pile of firewood right here. But this old tree reminds me of an ent, if you know what an ent is. But there's something right here that has me a little bit intrigued. And you can see right there, it looks like a decent burl. And I want to take that out and see if we can't do anything with that. The reality is it might be too far too gone at this point. As you can see, a lot has seeped into this tree over the years, but you never know. Burl and some spalting, which of course is to be expected. Unfortunately, it didn't record when I was cutting it off the tree, but we got her in front of us and we'll see what we can do with it. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I don't enjoy the finishing process on any level. I don't enjoy researching finishes. I don't enjoy applying finishes. I don't enjoy any part of that at all. However, I know that there is some kind of satisfaction for a lot of people when they see finish put on. However, when it comes to these pieces, I did try some Danish oil and I didn't like it. It came out very dark. And so I'm hoping, yeah, this is giving me a better representation of what I would be looking for. I don't want it too dark, but I do want that dark spalting to come out a little bit for me. Well, what do you think of what we did with the burl today? Not bad for finding a burl in the woods on an old dead tree and turning it into something useful. You have here this coaster, which turned out pretty well, and you can just sort of slab those off and put some finish on them, and you've got yourself a decent set of coasters that are unique, that are one of a kind to you. We also have our bookends here, and they turned out really well. I've done this in the past with cherry burls. I had a bunch of cherry burls at one point, and not being able to turn them, I wanted to turn them into something, and it worked out really well to just make some bookends. That there again, they're one of a kind. You'll never see this again. They can't be reproduced other than the style of what they are, but they can't be reproduced in terms of exactly what they look like because each burl is different to itself. One time I was told that burls happen on a tree because of some kind of injury that the tree sustained. And the person who had told me that was likening it to their own life and the kinds of difficulties that they've encountered and how beauty came from that. And so they brought a lot of meaning. Burls bring a lot of meaning to that individual person and maybe to you as well, to consider that although a lot of difficulties happen in our lives, beautiful things can come from those trying times. And so when you see a burl, maybe you'll think of that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you saw a couple of things that you could make for yourself and for your family. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.